This is the solution to WEX 381. Okay, all right. Okay, so I'm going to start with B, actually, because that's the way I think about it. All right, so then essentially there are three regions for this function. In the first place, we've got cost. So this axis represents the cost of m miles, and this is m, the m-axis. So it says that there's a fixed cost of $120, and that the first 100 miles are included in the fixed cost, which means that where the miles are concerned, here at m equal to 100, between m equals 0 and m equal to 100, the behavior of the cost is constant. So the cost is going to be exactly $120. So everything, the cost of driving 0 miles is 120, the cost of driving 80 miles is 120, the cost of driving 100 miles is 120. Beyond 100 miles, the cost is 20 cents per mile. Okay, so that means that when you get in here, the cost function has a positive slope, and the slope is 20 cents per mile. So that, in reading the next rule, I can see that between 100 and 300 is where that holds sway. So so that's like 100, 200, 300. So this could be 300 miles here. So in this region, the slope going to be 20 cents per mile. So in that region, the slope is 20 cents per mile. Between there and there. Then beyond 300 miles, the slope is 10 cents per mile. So then still a sloped line, but only half as much slope as before. So in this region, the slope is 10 cents per mile. All right. So that's kind of a sketch. Now it would be very helpful for us to know, the various values. So let's think about it for a minute. So this is a span of 200 miles. So to get here is 300 miles, but we're in this region it's 200 miles. 200 miles at 20 cents per mile. So just multiplying that out, 200 miles multiplied by 20 cents per mile well, that'd be 4,000, I think, pennies. So 4,000 cents. So that'd be 200 times 20 is 4,000 cents. Which is $40. As a result, that means that this amount of money change from here to here is $40. So the coordinates of that point there will be $40 more than that, so that'd be $160. So that would be 300 miles, $160 at that point right there. Okay, and that's enough to answer the rest of the question, because, well, we can say, okay, the cost of m miles will be the following piecewise defined function, and there will be three clauses, one corresponding to each of these regions. So if you find yourself in the first region, the cost is $120. That is to say, if 0 is less or equal to m is less or equal to 100. Anything between 0 and 100 is covered by the fixed cost of $120. So now the next region is that if you're between 100 and 300. So now it's 100 less than m less or equal 300. So now what we want is we want to represent the fixed cost, so $120, and then plus the 20 cents per mile overage for however many miles we went over. So I need to write these a little bit further to the right. So it'll be $120, and then it will be 20 cents per mile, so 0.20, then multiplied by m minus 100. The reason why it's going to look that way is because this 0.20, this represents the per mile cost, and the reason why it's m minus 100 is because this is the number of miles over 100, right? Because if you went say 105 miles, then you went 5 miles over. Okay, finally, the last clause representing the last region there will be from 300 onward. So 300 less than m less than infinity. So that will be, well, it'll be this cost, 160. 160, and then plus the per mile cost, so 0.10, and then multiplied by the number of miles that we went over. So now it'll be m minus 300. Okay, so that's the answer to part A. Then finally, so I'll give these clauses names. So this could be clause 1, clause 2, and clause 3, and of course this region corresponds to clause 1, this one to clause 2, and this one to clause 3. So finally, part C. Come up here. So part C. Evaluating 89. So C of 89. Well, that's in the first clause. That's what's covered by that. 89 miles is covered by the fixed cost. So then that'll be $120. C evaluated at 225. Well, that is the second clause. Just plotting the points where we're asked. Here, that's about 89. That's probably further to the right, but you get the idea. 225, so that's 200. So here's about 225. So you can see that we're in the second clause. So now I just need to type that into the machine there. So that'd be 120 plus 0.20 times 225 minus 100. So that'd be 145. Okay, good. So C evaluated at 300. So this will be a nice check because I reasoned through what that price should be right here. It should be 120 plus another 40. But let's evaluate this and make sure that it's in agreement. So this would be the second clause. So I'll plug in 300 into the formula for the second clause. And get 160. Okay, good. Then C evaluated at 1314. So 1314 is well, here was 300. That's where we just evaluated. And then 1314 is like way over here. So 1314, much further obviously, but so plugging that into the formula for the third clause. 160 for having gone that far, and then now 10 cents a mile for every mile over 300. $261.40.